So we're going to do our cold open one word at a time style. Lauren?
This.
Movie.
Is.
Fantastic. Says.
New York? Oh, that's 2 words.
Liars.
It's In Defense of Bad Movies.
Yay!
Hey everybody, Sam here, and it's time for another episode of In Defense of Bad Movies.
Hey guys, we're back! Yay! We were overthrown by our friends.
Yeah, that was rude. Kind of a coup.
Yeah. I
just
like
realized
that.
in a cold open I didn't...
You know what?
That was,
I don't really like Jesse very much.
this is not new.
Because I'm impressed that our friends took the interim when we were all away to do such a good episode with Jingle All the Way, but I'm also really disappointed because they did such a good job. It makes it look as if anyone can do a podcast.
Yeah,
I don't
know.
like that at all.
And they can't.
I know. I'm just kidding about not liking Jesse. I like him, and he did a really good job.
Calm down, Laura.
But I mean, really, I wasn't in England. I was here. He just took over.
I like that. I think because you have been in England at some point, he thought maybe you're there now.
He thinks I'm there perpetually.
We're actually recording from England right now.
Rose on Skype at this moment.
Yeah, I'm saying hi to my family. They're in England, so.
I just realized in the cold open I forgot to say what movie we're even talking about. We watched Serenity. But before we get to that, let's go around the horn. I'm Sam Bowen. To my right is Lauren Bowen.
Hi there.
How was your holiday season?
Holiday seasons are great. We did an authentic rom-com for Christmases between your family and my family, as you recall.
I do recall. Yeah, that was a lot of driving.
It was a lot of Christmas.
Santa came into your car's exhaust pipe to give us presents. That's where we spent so much time. And to her right, sort of, is Laura King.
Hey there. Christmas was good. It's over. Yay. New Year. 2016.
Weird.
Yeah.
Good to talk to you.
I'm sorry I didn't give you more, Sam. You know what? You could have asked me questions, but no, you didn't. I'm sorry that you didn't know about my Christmas.
No,
I was trying to give you your present and you didn't want it.
That is the problem. We do know all these things, but we're just making this up for the listener. So, to her right is Bobby Mattern.
That's me.
How's it going? How was your New Year?
Listeners want to know.
My New Year. Oh my God, I didn't have a response prepared. It was new. No further questions, please.
And to his right is me, Sam, and I.
How was your Christmas, Sam?
No, thank you for asking.
I don't care.
It was very nice.
Did you like my Christmas gift?
You got me a Christmas gift? Yes, I did. Your Christmas gift to me. I'm not sure. Whatever. We'll get into all that stuff later.
All the Christmas gifts?
Yeah. We'll get into that stuff later. Yeah.
We'll save that for the segment.
Yes. What did you get for Christmas this year? Our monthly segment. But no, we watched Serendipity. Oh, yeah, we should, as Laura alluded, we should thank...
Yeah, that's my present
Jesse
to you.
and Ronnie and Leah and Sarah for sort of filling in for us on an off week anyway. So no, they did a good job, and it was a lot of fun listening to it.
Yeah, they did a really good job. Thank you guys, Ronnie, Leah, Jesse. You're not welcome back.
You don't need to cry about it.
But Ronnie and Leah can come back, and Sarah as well. But Jesse, no.
But that was last year, and this is this year when we watched Serendipity. The original Peaches are back. That's us. And we're going to talk about it. That was Laura. You made us watch this movie, right?
I did make you watch this movie. You're welcome for that.
I don't know if that's the proper response. Before we get into the movie, talk about the specifics, let's do Laura's 15-second movie synopsis. And I am here to remind you that through the lifetime of the podcast, you are allowed to pass that off to somebody one time. If you want to. It can be this time. It doesn't have to be.
No, I think I have a really quick synopsis. I wrote one down, but I don't like it, so I'm going to just wing it.
Ooh, good.
I'm so excited.
Okay. And I don't have a stopwatch, so I'm just going to quietly count to 15 as you're doing it. Okay?
Okay,
And
Serendipity
go.
is a lovely movie starring John Cusack and Kate Beckinsale in a romantic movie that takes place in New York at Christmas time. It's wonderful, and everyone should watch it. I highly recommend it.
11, 1,000, 12, 1,000, 34,000, 41,000. Good job. I didn't listen to any of that because I was busy counting.
I don't think anyone else did either because
I heard it. It was
It was a
succinct.
movie with Josh Duhamel, I think you said. Whatever.
How dare you?
yeah, you know what? I think a lot of people would be offended that you just said that John
Did I
Cusack
get-
is
Absolutely.
Oh, no.
compared.
That was the
comparing
female
him.
lead. I thought it was Josh Duhamel.
Bobby has a really good impression of Kate Beckinsale.
Oh, no, I don't.
Come on, Bobby, you have to.
Nope.
You have to.
Wait, what is the story on this?
Oh, on the way over, he said one of Kate Beckinsale's lines. You know, when they're ice skating, and she goes, "Your favorite."
sexual position.
And I just stopped because I'm like, "What is
Did
that?"
Kate Beckinsale just come into the recording studio?
I'm in underworld.
That was uncanny.
Kate, this is amazing. What's my
Hello.
Christine like?
Could you put your husband Lynn Wiseman on?
One moment.
I want to hear about the sex parties.
They're divorced.
Oh, poor guy. So what do we do on this show? This is
It's
the
been a
show-
while. You have to remember.
It's been a while. This is the show where Laura talks about a bad movie, and the rest of us tell her why it's bad and why she's lame for liking it. So, well, first of all,
I already came prepared because I wrote things that I thought were weird about this movie, seeing it as a 30-year-old, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna write this down because I'm gonna counter all of you, and I'm gonna say, yeah, that is weird, but this is better,
okay. Okay. So let us before we get into it. Who liked the movie aside from Laura? Did anyone like the movie?
It's really hard. I saw this movie back in 2001 when it came out. 19-year-old Lauren was young and impressionable and full of hopes. And so the movie was lovely. John Cusack's adorable, and the fate storyline and the romantic, life brings you to the person you're meant to be with was lovely. And now watching it as a 34-year-old, a lot of that was really frustrating. Like, fate is crap. Make your own choices.
And these are bad people.
Yeah.
No, you guys are so mean. They're not bad people, and because Bobby said that last night, and then I was thinking about that today. I'm like, no, I don't believe that. They're
Bobby,
not bad
I think
people.
you should be worried.
One of my notes
I think you should LoJack Laura.
Jonathan is like an actual asshole.
No, he's not. Oh my god.
I don't want to think they're bad people, but I did have a lot of moments I had to forgive them for. Like, well, this is.
I want to hear
One of my
this.
thoughts is like, this is my best friend's wedding if Julia Roberts won.
I thought about the best friend's wedding comparison too.
Also, Laura really likes movies where Molly Shannon plays the best friend.
Molly
That's
Shannon
why we watch so many of them.
She's one of the high points in this movie, though.
Yeah.
She's great.
See, I think her character could be cut out of the movie completely.
But
doesn't
who would be the
need-
best friend?
It would shorten the movie.
We just need the bit of humor and light that she brings because everyone else is so dour and serious and their journey is so frustrating. Like, at least she gets to be here to have fun.
But I don't think she's that fun, actually.
Cookie time.
There is
Yeah, time for the cookie.
All right, sorry guys, we'll be right back.
And I don't think she's very funny in the movie.
Well, she's.
I mean, we could argue that the movie is not the most funny and she's trying.
And we will.
Can I say there's
Yeah.
one character who is by far more interesting than all the other characters?
Is it
Eugene Levy.
And no, I would say that is John Corbett as a superstar.
John Corbett was fun. Pretty also, man.
He was fun, but I also feel a little bit bad for him that he's just comic spaz.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're just here to be ridiculous and not the men that Kate Beckinsale ends up with.
Both he and Eugene Levy.
But he's having fun.
Both he and Eugene Levy, to me, feel like they should be in different movies. They were a little too silly
Completely
for
different movies from each other and from this movie.
But they both are really committing and doing the best they can.
No, they're doing a good job, but they're in the wrong movie.
I feel bad for,
Oh, my microphone wasn't on.
that's...
Hopefully, I was being picked up on the other microphones.
Sorry.
Oh. So what did I
Yeah,
say?
we know that you suck. So Sam
I
just
said-
said how much he liked the movie.
No, I said John Corbett and Eugene Levy belong in different movies from each other. No, from this one.
Or you know how with Forgetting Sarah Marshall they did that Get Him to the Greek spinoff? Like I could do with a John Corbett.
That was a spinoff.
Fun. I would see Lars continuing on into the world with his Shania.
Yes.
I feel really bad in this movie that the premise is, the two characters meet and they have an amazing connection, but they're separated by fate, and
they
come
meet
together later.
when they're with other people. This is what makes them reprehensible people.
I don't know about that. You can argue they're young and just in relationships that they don't realize.
But why did they have to do? The movie did not have to have them with other people. They could have,
because that's why they couldn't be together at that moment.
No, I know.
That's
but
why
there could have been other reasons. If the movie had gotten off its ass for 1 second, it could have been like, she could have been like, I just got out of a long-term relationship and I'm not ready to get into something new and blah blah blah. And he could have been.
Doesn't sound anything like her.
But then he's in a relationship by himself and he's a jerk.
No, but there could have been some other thing with him too. I don't know. I mean, like I came up with that just now. Okay, it came out the last night when I watched the movie. But
the Bridget Moynahan character is straight up tragic. Like
I feel so bad for her.
My heart broke for her.
I feel bad for both her and Lars. I guess
Lars will be fine. He's a badass.
I know, but
he
I guess
points to a girl and he's good.
But I guess it's good. The movie didn't make the stereotype of like, but their partners are awful. Of course they should be together. But the result is Bridget Moynahan's just a nice, bland tan.
The side effect of that is that our heroes are awful. Totally.
No. I don't think they're awful because they break up with their respected spouse.
They were
together.
kind of salvaged at the end.
And it took way too long for any friend to say, if you feel this way, you shouldn't be marrying this person. Molly Shannon didn't say it. Finally, Jeremy Piven said it. I can't believe Jeremy Piven is the voice of reason in this movie.
It was the night of John Cusack's rehearsal dinner when they were running around. He should have, if it was bothering him this much all this time, he should have ended something way sooner. Yeah. Said something.
I agree he should have, but it's the one fault of the movie. But they're not bad people.
The one fault of the movie was they're horrible people throughout 8 nights of the movie.
No.
And then going back to how sad Bridget Moynahan is, Fate is a dick. I mean, as much as our two leads are not that great.
No, like the tagline, Fate has a sense of humor, Sam.
Okay, no. Fate maybe had a sense of humor up until everything, but then when do we want to get into? Do we want
to talk about fate and destiny and serendipity?
Okay,
and
so they have this thing where they meet and they're like, well, I'll put my phone number in here, and if what's her name, Kate Beckinsale, so she'll put her phone number in the.
He puts his name and number on
a $5 bill.
$5 bill, and then she puts hers in the book "Love in the Time of Cholera." Which, side note, "Love in the Time of Cholera" is about a man and woman who like each other, but she ends up marrying someone else, and then her husband dies like 50 years later, and this other guy and she get together.
Now I can't read it. Thanks, Laura.
I'm sorry, but it's a little nod, wink to the book. So.
So the thought is, like, if she gets the $5 bill, she has his number. If
fate brings them to these,
is a much more proactive thing too. Is he has to actually go into used bookstores to find this book, and if he finds it, but that's not what happens. He tries every time with his girlfriend and then fiance, by the way. Every time they're together, they go into a bookstore.
I don't think it's like I'm actively searching for her. I think it's like, it's like one of those things, like, if you're going to look for it, like, that's right. Maybe I'll come across it and not necessarily do anything about it, but it's not until he starts hearing all these things and he's ready to get married that it's like, oh my gosh, maybe this is a bad choice.
But he's been looking for that book. It's
like he's looking through it when he's at a used bookstore
with his girlfriend / fiance.
Yeah, no, I know, but he's not like actively like trying. Like if he got it, I'm saying if he got it, that doesn't mean that he's going to call her up.
It's a backup.
I don't know.
There, you always need the backup plan. I'll give him the romantic movie benefit of the doubt. Like, after it happened, it was really magical and he tried so hard to find her. But, like, let's say he's let it go mostly and he's with someone who's really great and he should love, but it's always just niggling at the back of his mind. And so, I shouldn't say that.
We're not that kind of podcast.
To give him the benefit of, I'm not a terrible person. Like, it's just this one magical thing. Like, he just has to check and, like, it's something to make him not reprehensible.
I wanted to cry for Hallie when she gave him that
felt
book.
bad for Hallie.
Yeah.
Poor Hallie.
Yeah, and that's when Fate is a dick. Fate is like, okay, I'm going to give you that book, your fiance is going to give it to you, and that's the moment.
They were broken up before that, anyway.
They weren't.
No, in that moment they weren't broken up.
No. I mean, like, it was clear that they were going to be not together.
It was
not
clear,
at the end of that conversation
because he was the lead and she wasn't in a romantic comedy.
He was being suffocated by his perfect fiance.
Yeah. Who is astute, unlike lots of rom-com significant others, and like knew something was wrong and
Right.
confronted him on it like a grown-up when giving him the opportunity to say, yeah, something's wrong.
And it was all because that bitch made him look at her during the wedding rehearsal. He wanted to look anywhere else. But
We're talking about the end of the movie.
It's all right.
Oh, spoilers.
There's a lot of the movie
Hey,
that we
the
haven't
two
talked
romantic
about.
leads end up together in the romantic comedy. Spoilers.
Yeah. I think that this movie would not have worked if it weren't for Kate Beckinsale and John Cusack.
I agree.
Say, I don't think it would have worked if it wasn't for John Cusack, because Kate Beckinsale is a blank slate.
she's
I'm
really
sorry.
pretty.
She's a blank slate. She's very pretty.
She's very cute. Her teeth are very, very white.
but
impossibly
they just have
white.
bad teeth.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like
What
the
is
skin
it?
of every actor in this movie.
Yes, her when she's like the freckles. Oh, the curse of the British. Shut
Along with
up.
teeth,
Perfect,
and she has perfect both.
beautiful Kate Beckinsale.
Oh, she has 4 freckles. Oh, I'm sorry, 5.
You're ruined.
And freckles are attractive even. So
Even.
Gross.
even I have freckles.
Gosh, her teeth. It's so superficial, and I don't like picking on actresses, but her teeth are so white. They glare.
British women don't age well.
She's very tan.
The truth I
British
learned
person.
from this.
Oh, and not only that, that is a reason that it's going to be okay that you never find this girl who you are perfectly matched with because she's probably ugly now.
It's like that Helen Mirren.
I wrote that down. I wrote Helen Mirren Bigston Differ.
But that's how bad these people are. They're like, oh well, and it works the other way too. Like, she makes a comment like, oh well, let's hope that he's bald now. Then it won't matter that I don't find him because I'm shallow.
She threw in a few other things, like nose picking, dog kicking something.
No, yeah, she said he's bald, picks his nose and wipes it under his seat. Oh, and he's a fascist. So those
That's a deal breaker.
Those are fair, but she led with bald.
Yeah, she did.
She led with bald.
I'm offended.
I guess I'm superficial, but if I, were trying to find someone, I would be like, yeah, he's probably, it's like an offhanded comment, like, he's probably bald and he's probably like
Bobby,
fat
invest in
now,
Rogaine.
and
I get the joke because she
You know,
knows she's
already
making
bald.
a mistake.
Exactly.
And she's being unfair to her fiance. So, like, well, after she's done this horrible thing to her friend, I don't like that the trip to New York had to be a lie. That she
Yeah.
convinced Molly Shannon to go with her to look for John Cusack by saying, "Oh, it's your birthday present." Just
Well,
kidding.
I
We're
guess-
gonna wander around trying to find
Doesn't
this guy.
she know she's the best friend in a romantic comedy?
She
She'll do
doesn't.
it anyway.
She's living her own life. She doesn't realize she's the star of her own movie.
Guys, let's make a movie about the best friend in romantic comedy.
I would love that movie
That would be so cool.
because she'd look like me.
Have you seen the College Humor? It's a Funny or Dad video with Judy Greer as the best friend in the romantic comedy.
It's been
No,
done for
Like
me.
after it's great. Look it up.
Not feature length. I will thank this movie for one thing. It did take me to the restaurant Serendipity, which is the real star of the movie, guys. Am I right? Am I right? Thank goodness.
I think that this movie is so charming. And like, if anything, it's like a love story to New York City at Christmas time, which is so great.
If they create smell-o-vision and taste-o-vision, then maybe it'll be cool that they did it about that restaurant. But until then, who cares? And I don't want to see the restaurant.
But it led me there.
That's the main problem with the Food Network. It's like, shove it through the TV. I've seen Willy Wonka. We can do this now.
But
This
it's
is
a
real technology.
It's a PSA, essentially saying anyone who's going to New York, go to Serendipity. It's totally
Or
worth
Las
it.
Vegas now.
And it's not as good.
It's not. It's not.
This is a fact. It's more delicious in New York.
But we should go to Las Vegas, is what you're saying. That's what we're going to take our show on the road. We're going to go to Las Vegas.
New York, actually. We're going to go see Hamilton. We're going to spend a lot of money for tickets to see it.
It'll take a lot of Hamiltons to get there.
Go see the Rock of Ages in Las Vegas if that's cool.
Yeah, Bobby, go there. Okay, we're all going to see Hamilton without you.
So most of my notes are about how bad these people are. And here's one.
Can we talk about his Godfather analogy? That's awful. It's so mean.
Refresh my memory.
He says, okay, the gist of it is, he says that he's talking about his fiance, right? And saying Godfather Part 2 is a great movie, maybe even a better movie than The Godfather Part 1, but you need to have watched The Godfather Part 1 in order to appreciate Godfather Part 2, which is how he justifies going out to try to find this British chick he talked to for an evening years ago.
It's a rough analogy.
I don't think it's an awful analogy.
It's a terrible thing to say about your fiance.
You love The Godfather, don't you, Sarah?
I've actually never seen The Godfather.
I have a question. Is every paper...
Godfather Part 3 is the best.
No question here. Is every paper that Kate Beckinsale comes across, does she have to inspect it for some sort of fate thing? Like a golf ball on a tee has papers that he's got like, oh, here, go to the driving range. And she considers that a sign?
Well, this makes her whole New York plan is so frustrating after like disavowing fate in her later years and saying it was such a mistake to leave that guy behind. Her plan is to go to New York and wander around and let fate tell her where this guy is.
Does Serendipity have one of those bulletin boards like they have at a lot of coffee shops? Because she
so.
would be having to do so many things. I'm going to go to this open mic night, and I'm going to go to this poetry reading, and
I do think
dog washing.
The idea of serendipity in this movie, like fate, destiny, is...
Well, and serendipity is an entirely different thing as well.
Yeah, it's like the writers didn't quite get how to show it, and how they could make it less contrived, I guess.
Did the two of them connect over anything except for a conversation about serendipity?
Well, let's make a point that they had, if they're waiting in line for serendipity, they're waiting in a 2-hour line to get into that restaurant without a reservation. So that's a really long conversation. Yeah. And to have her name not come up at any point is kind of strange.
Their significant others had the same hand size. That's a big thing to talk about.
That's pretty fun and weird.
And Buck Henry, whoever he was shopping for, also had... He should have been in on it.
I'm not like a particularly fashionable person, but that's like a really boring ass glove to like bond over too, right? Like it's nothing. It's just like some random black glove.
Yeah, I don't think it was supposed to be anything great.
Oh,
I think it was a cashmere glove.
That's another reason why they're horrible people. It's like they're shopping for their significant others, and they're just like, oh, here's a pair of gloves that may fit. I'm going to grab it, and they didn't even look at the gloves. You see them, they're like. They each grab a glove and walk in different directions. Like, oh, here's absolutely anything.
Maybe that gives credence to that they're not terrible people. These are fairly new relationships. So it's like, I gotta get something.
And those relationships they're in at the beginning aren't the people they're with now.
Yeah, because they can't hold down relationships.
And we're given to understand that those ended quickly afterwards.
I'm rolling my eyes at Bobby right now, but I am.
And if that were the only thing going on, I might agree with you. But the fact that they are in very serious, both of them are very serious relationships by the time we get to the 7 years later, and then they start looking for each other.
Several years.
And in fact, seven, I think, yeah.
It's 5, actually.
Yeah, it's 5.
There was one I heard 7.
Should I jump into IMDb trivia right now?
Well, play the theme.
No, it's a real quick one. The initial concept was to have them be in their early 20s, and then it would be like 15 years later that they finally got together. But apparently test audiences didn't buy that John Cusack was in his early 20s.
Even the hair in his face, despite the little wispy hair.
So the final decision was a 5-year gap, which is not that long.
I don't think that would have changed any of the movie or any of the effects. It doesn't... It's not the passage of time.
I don't. Yeah, I think that if they tried doing 15 years later, that would have been really weird to buy. That these two people would still think about that.
I kind of buy it more because 5 years is just a short period to both have moved on. She's moved cross country, and they're both imminently getting married. Like, I mean, it can happen, but that's a really short time period for all that to have happened.
For these two, like rash. People who don't think things through to like get engaged at the end of the brink of marriage.
Well, they're supposed to be like in their early 30s. Yeah. So
he's 35.
I don't know. At that point,
that's such an impulsive thing to do. My notes are like John Corbett would be more interesting if he was shirtless every scene. John Corbett's music video should be a feature-length film.
Keep this part. This is great. I do really like John Corbett.
John Corbett's character would be drinking kombucha in every scene if it came out today. The most outdated thing in this movie so far is John Corbett.
I feel so bad for him that his points of why he's bad. Obviously, he was a big goofball, but they had points of like, oh, the ring doesn't fit. Oh, her sister observes like, I thought you wanted a circle cut, not a square cut. Like, oh yes, dump him. He doesn't know you at all.
I think it's more that he's selfish. I mean, he took that he was like really selfish and didn't really care about
Which they can point out in other ways, but like in those.
In order to be a successful oboe player in this world.
It's a shenai. And he fights off the Vikings with his music.
It's so good.
That guy looks like he hates it.
I did enjoy him. I gotta say. Yeah, I enjoyed him. I enjoyed Eugene Levy. Molly Shannon, you're right. She wasn't that funny, but she was good as the friend, I would say. And even Eugene Levy. Oh, they ended the movie on Eugene Levy. That's how amazing they thought he was. He gets the last bit, and it's horrible.
He takes his job at Bloomingdale's very seriously.
Does he? He does, but he's as awful as everyone else.
Oh, yeah.
Blackmailing, crazy John Cusack.
There's such logic points in this movie that are scream rom-com-y. Like, how did Sarah get back on the airplane with her friend's wallet?
Yeah.
How'd she pay for a cab and get out her ticket? And like, oh my gosh, I've got Molly Shannon's wallet.
I will say this. As far as, like, it was a reveal, that was the reveal about why she had the wrong wallet. The way they set it up wasn't too bad. It wasn't too obvious, like, oh, this is going to be a major plot point, having the same wallet. So, I'm going to give you my mom's take on the movie as soon as it was over. This is a direct quote.
Much with.
Okay, that was a real stupid movie. Which is pretty strong for her. Usually most movies are okay.
I think she said that about Never Been Kissed too.
2 for 2.
She must not like Molly
Molly
Shannon.
To be fair, if she watched all the movies we watch, that would be her critique for every movie.
By the way, she is a huge fan of Superstar. That's not true. So.
And then they come together at the end, and I'm really uncomfortable with them wandering around New York to find each other, and they wander back to Woolman Rink where they, shared their first skating. And she's left her jacket there, which is still there a day later. Wouldn't happen in New York. And John picks it up, hangs onto it, uses it as a pillow, and he goes to lie down in the middle of the rink. A stranger's jacket that, first off, someone could be coming back for that. That's rude. Should I stop?
No, just want to point out, our cookies are ready.
So someone could be coming out for that jacket, and that's a rude thing to do. And also, you don't know where that jacket has been, John Cusack.
I know.
Get that away from your hair. Yuck.
He doesn't think things through. We established this.
We have. He's 35 years old, and he's a child.
I like the magical gust of wind that presumably takes the glove out of Kate Beckinsale's hand, flies it 20 feet up into the air.
Oh, I assumed she threw it.
Maybe she let it go to catch the wind, but even that is insane because it's a light breeze.
And it clearly comes from the sky.
Yes. And I was wondering, like, oh, is she standing up on top of something? I was like, no, she's...
I like the idea that
she's 30 feet this way.
Well, you don't know. Maybe she stood up and she dropped it, and then she got down. But because by the time that he sees it, he's on the ground, and then he stands up and then sees her. So
I like the idea that I like the idea that she got a ladder, and she's like, I'm going to really do this.
There's a second story at Woolman, so she ran up to the second level, let it go, ran downstairs so she could be standing there when you turned around in her frumpy outfit, which was a weird choice for the end of the rom-com.
And the whole movie, there's show her cute little figure and little
sexy and
shorts,
sassy.
And then, the end, she's wearing this really baggy shirt and baggy pants.
She's wearing a shirt she borrowed from Lars. And
that's how much he loves her. It doesn't matter. Oh.
He does love her because he had a little tear when he saw her. That was actually kind of heartbreaking.
That wasn't just snow? Melting snow?
Could be.
It was a tear.
Can I say another one of my favorite moments was the moment, I'm sorry, before we go on, where they're outside.
No, it's not okay. We don't want to hear it.
I'm going to step down. Never mind.
We moved on.
No, it's the moment where John Cusack and Jeremy Piven are outside the house, and Jeremy Piven gives a speech. And they're both lying on the ground next to each other. And the dialogue is, didn't you say everything happens for a reason? And then John Cusack says, yeah. And then Jeremy Piven makes eye contact with him and goes, maybe it's because you don't want to be standing, maybe you don't want to be standing somewhere.
Maybe you're
maybe it's
here.
because you don't want to be standing somewhere else. And there's a beat where it looks like the two might kiss, and that would have been a perfect
another movie. Because he wants to be standing right here.
So let's, Bobby and Laura, I think you guys should discuss gender politics in the movie we just watched. Hit the theme.
I got the eye of the tiger.
Susan B. Anthony was on the dollar coin for a reason.
Stop objectifying me.
Gloria Steinem.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Equal rights amendment was never ratified.
Rosie the Riveter.
Oh my God, Bobby, shut up.
Rosie the Robot.
Who's gonna make me my sandwich?
My body, my choice.
Blatant. Susan B. Anthony was taken off the dollar for a reason.
Beyonce.
Well, it's a romantic comedy. And
I can't argue.
This is like an 8-year-old's book report.
I don't know if I think that there's a lot to talk about in terms of gender roles, although there are a couple of spots where you could tell it's a movie that was made in 2001. They Jeremy,
like at the end when it said copyright 2001.
no, when Jeremy Piven is giving his best man speech at the dinner, and he like gets all flamboyant and I guess you could say mocks like a
stereotypically gay voice.
And a very stereotypical gay voice. Pretends to be a server. And then there's
a hilarious Indian cab driver.
Yes. And then there's the scene where Molly
Indian
Shannon...
is my favorite gender.
Molly Shannon and Kate Beckinsale are in their meeting. Bridget Monahan, Hallie's at the hotel, because in some weird world, the world of Serendipity, Molly Shannon's character knows Bridget Monahan's character, and Bridget Monahan and her mom think that Molly Shannon and Kate Beckinsale are lovers, and then Molly Shannon goes, "Oh no, we're not lesbian." And so anyway, that's what I noticed in the movie. I think we've come a long way. Still need longer, but yeah. What about you,
Bobby? Rebuttal.
I will say it's kind of interesting that, I feel like John Corbett, I don't want to say he gets fleshed out as a character, but he certainly gets to be more fun and more interesting. But his counterpart is Hallie, the Bridget Moynihan character, who is just the doting girlfriend, and that's
true.
all she gets to be.
She's there.
Yeah, and it was like, we talked about how sad her character is, but it was kind of weird that every single one of her scenes is,
with him.
Yeah, with him talking about like their relationship, like her doing stuff for him until she finally.
Yeah, and never talked about what she did. And
yeah,
it's true.
All right, good talk. Cool. Let's discuss the movie we wish we'd seen.
Ugh, this movie is crap. I could write a better movie in my sleep.
And now, IDOBM presents the movie we'd wish we'd seen.
And that is, of course, when we take an aspect of this movie and we talk what we wish we'd seen, whether it be a prequel, sequel, parallel movie, a small character that deserves his or her own movie. Bobby, you go first.
I already talked about it. I would love to see the music video be made into a feature-length film. Absolutely. I think the time... this movie came out in 2001. Not too much time has passed. We live in the age of sequels and reboots. Like, we can absolutely still adapt that into a feature-length movie. But anything with John Corbett's character. Continuing on.
I would see it. How about you, Lauren?
There's a moment in the movie that sort of was weird to observe. In the very beginning, there's a wide shot of New York, and we're zooming in to Bloomingdale's going across the facade, and we peek into an upper-level window where there's a saleswoman who's kind of going through stuff, like preparing things, and she pulls out the gloves, and she has this look on her face of just confusion and, like, inspecting, like, what? And, like, all right, put these back on the floor. And then we follow them back to, like, our fateful moment. Why was she so confused? Like, what journey have these gloves taken to get here? I want to know. I feel like these are magic fake gloves.
I also like the idea, I'm sorry to interrupt, but that the idea that when they get something, they put it back on the shelf one item at a time. There's not a go-back bin or something. It's just...
No, she's got a little, like, metal crate that she takes just that out.
Yeah, exactly.
Because these have to make it for fate. So I want to see where these gloves came from and what her journey was.
Gabriel Garcia Marquez writes a lot of magical realism, so maybe these gloves are magical gloves, and that was, like, an even more of a nod to him.
Oh, did he write this movie?
Yeah.
As for me, I would like to see a movie where Kate Beckinsale's character is completely crazy, and she at some point realizes, oh, fate's not going to do this thing. I have to create situations of fate, and like it turned out the entire movie was something that she had constructed. And, she kept making these close calls where they almost ran into each other and didn't, and then finally the whole meeting on the skating rink. And I think that would have been amazing.
I just wanted to see a movie where it was just John Cusack and Kate Beckinsale together.
Like in a relationship.
Yeah.
Like if they
like
met.
Hardcore sex type movie?
Like if they somehow met when they were both about to go into next stages of relationship
Yeah,
and
like-
make that decision.
Yeah, I don't know, like more of them together. I like them.
That would've
That's
been
really
nice.
good.
Cool.
Can I build on Lauren's thing real quick?
Yes.
Right before that shot, you get a quick shot of a guy leaving the store with babies under each of his arms and a binky in his mouth, looking really stressed out, and then just sighing and walking away. I have no idea what the hell that was about.
It's a really weird specific. The movie does not do that with like other just
I
like
was waiting
random
for him to
pictures
come
of
around
life.
because it was so specific.
And he looked like Randy Quaid. I thought he was Randy Quaid. I thought Uncle Eddie had
Yeah.
2 kids. And I remember, Lauren laughed out loud when that scene happened.
Because it was a strange inclusion.
He belonged with Eugene Levy and John Corbett in their own movie. So we were teased with this earlier, but let's go into IDOBM IMDb trivia. TM. What else have you got, Lauren?
I've got a few things, nothing so great. There was a fun fact. Both John Corbett and Bridget Moynihan have played jilted lovers before on Sex and the City.
Yeah,
Of course, John Corbett was Aiden. Mhm.
Yeah.
And then Bridget Moynihan was married to
Yeah.
Mr. Big. And poor things, both perfectly nice, lovely people that just get thrown over for
Especially John Corbett.
horse face and stonehead.
Which is which?
I leave that to you. Let's see. So there was a very part of their adorable meet was John Cusack finding Cassiopeia in all the curse of those freckles, looking at Kate Beckinsale's arm like, oh look, it's Cassiopeia. Hold on while I run over here to get a pen somewhere from the rink. This is really important. And tells the long story of Cassiopeia and drawing it on her arm, being very intimate very quickly. But also, this is the second time that that's made an appearance in The Sure Thing in 1985. John Cusack's character points out Cassiopeia to a love interest in that movie.
I really want to know if he
got a
knows
thing.
about Cassiopeia.
That's something he demands to bring to every movie.
I want to bring this to this movie.
It's my thing. It's my Easter egg I put in everything.
That reminds me. I was hoping that when when they go to San Francisco, when what's his name, John Cusack and Jeremy Piven go to San Francisco, and he goes and sees who he thinks is Kate Beckinsale having sex with her boyfriend. I really wanted him to get a boombox and hold it up in the air.
I think this will work. I don't know. I think she likes Peter Gabriel.
Who doesn't?
And then I want to include one final sad trivia. Since this movie was released in 2001, actually filmed through 2002, it did come out after 9/11, and so any images of the World Trade Center in the skyline were digitally removed.
Filmed through 2002.
2000, sorry.
Okay, that's
Okay, let's go back and edit that. All right. Since the movie came out in 2001 and was filmed through the year 2000, any images of the World Trade Towers in the skyline were digitally removed. You
want to go back and do that again?
Okay. Since the movie came out in 2001 after 9/11 and had been filmed through the year 2000, any images of the World Trade Center were digitally removed from any skyline shots, just to avoid that horrible bummer.
I'm confused. Why do we do that 3 times?
Never forget that it took Lauren 3 times to get through that.
Hate you all.
I have another.
Thank you.
Another tidbit of trivia that I also read on IMDb. They, John Cusack and Kate Beckinsale, they filmed this movie pretty much separately. They weren't together in a lot of the scenes. So
the magic of movie making.
yeah.
Even the scenes they were in together, it was actually blue screen.
Yeah, they weren't actually next
It was
to each other.
Andy Serkis was stepped in for
Kate Beckinsale.
Kate Beckinsale. So, Laura, you still like this movie?
Yeah.
Bobby, how do you like it?
I don't actually. I mean, it's harmless. I don't know. I don't think it's interesting enough to like recommend watching. But I mean, we've covered much worse movies on this podcast. But
Speed
Magic Mike
Racer, I
XXL.
think, it was the last bad movie.
no, but I mean, I don't know. It is insane how unlikable the protagonists are.
It's rough because you kind of accuse this of Magic Mike XXL of going into it expecting not to like it, and when you do go in like just ready to take notes, you kind of do look for things. So I may not have hated this movie. I didn't like the people for the most part, but then at the end they kind of redeemed themselves, and it was fun enough. All the different quote unquote fate things. So I was fun. I like Bobby. It was harmless, but I wouldn't rush out to your local Red Box and get it, mostly because they don't have it in Red Boxes. But yeah, it was okay. How about you, Lauren?
Yeah, I don't hate it, and I will endlessly be grateful that it pointed out the restaurant Serendipity to me, and now I have frozen hot chocolate in my life, and it's glorious. But yeah, it's a fairly nondescript movie, and I'm good. I feel like I've seen it enough.
Cool. Let us do something I forgot to do last time, which is talk about things that don't need any defense. I ended with you, Lauren, on this thing. So how about, do you want to start? What are you into these days? Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want to? We can move
I'm
around.
gonna stare at the ceiling.
We can move around. But if I go first, I might take Hamilton.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
So maybe you should just go with Hamilton.
I think we're all good. I think we can all affirm that Hamilton needs no defense. That if you're in New York and lucky enough to get a ticket, go see the musical written by Lin-Manuel Miranda about Alexander Hamilton, because it is amazing. Mm-hmm. It's pretty good.
Cool.
Concur.
Bobby, you want to add to that?
Yeah, Hamilton's great. Boy, I don't know. I accidentally watched Fury Road again, and that's really
Accidentally.
And I just got a PS4, and video games are awesome. I like video games.
You want to go, Laura?
Have I seen any movies lately?
Well, we watched Serendipity yesterday.
Yeah, saw Star Wars.
Ooh, super excited about stuff.
Super excited.
Was it as good as Dune?
Yeah. It's a little bit more modern, so that helps.
Actually, just blow your mind. It takes place a long time ago.
Daisy Ridley was awesome, though. She was so cool.
That's Ray.
Ray, okay.
Ray.
She's the only female who I didn't know, so I'm just going to repeat things. I also got a PS4, which video games are really fun. I also saw Star Wars, and I had problems with it, but overall I really liked it. It was fun.
You liked it when it was called A New Hope?
Yeah, I did.
They're doing something on purpose.
Is it just a remake, or is it echoing, or I don't know. But who cares? I enjoyed it. And I also really like Hamilton, so I am unoriginal.
Hamilton is great.
Yeah. So that'll do it for that. Who has things they need to plug? Lauren, do you have anything to plug?
No.
Laura, do you have anything to plug? No. Bobby, do you have anything to plug?
No.
Fine. I'll just
Sam.
plug. My improv group, Upperclassmen, has a show Valentine's Day. So if you are either lonely or have a very misconstrued idea of romance, come out to our show February 14th, 7 o'clock at Long Beach Playhouse. Also, considering that's a little while from now, if you go into withdrawal, you can always go to our YouTube page and check out Upperclassmen. We have a lot of stuff, including right now one short that I wrote and directed. Another one should be up.
I've been in some.
Yes, my lovely wife, Lauren, has been in some. And yeah, I think that'll about do it. Just the usual. Follow us on Facebook. Follow our Twitter. All that stuff.
Once more with enthusiasm, Sam.
Yeah. Go on and totally follow our Twitter. We tweet some amazing things. Have we ever tweeted anything, guys?
Yeah, Bobby did. But
Okay.
That one time.
Go to our website.
If I get one follower from this episode, I will tweet 5 things.
Tweeting is hard.
Go to our website and look at our back catalog, since I'm having trouble with iTunes. I think that should do it. So, hey guys, we did it.
Yay!
We recorded another podcast.
2016
in the house.
We have some exciting guests coming up. We're going to have a lot of fun people in
It's
it.
a really good thing. It's a
John
leap.
Cusack.
Yeah. It's a really good thing. It's a leap year because we need that extra day for all the different guests and things we're going to do. Exciting year. So, thanks, guys. You want to take us out with a song, Lauren?
Okay. I don't want to wait in vain for your love.
From 2016.
Good night, everyone. Talk amongst yourselves. We paused it.
Recording Serendipity here. Living our raps and drinking some beer. I'm number 1. ¿Dónde está la biblioteca? Me llamo T-Bone, la araña discoteca. going. Discoteca, Monica, en la biblioteca. Gracias. Buenos días. Me gusta papas fritas.